work. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about that. So first things first, when a customer signs up with you, they're going to go and get the Wi-Fi Connect router, part of the setup. And in that setup, they get this Wi-Fi Connect router. And right here on screen, you get to see this is literally a live picture of what it looks like. It's got a couple, two antennas that fold upward. It's got a cute little blue light on it that flashes pink when it's receiving data. And then the back end of it has two additional ports on it, one blue port for connectivity and one power port. All they do is take it out of the box, no configuration necessary. They plug it into an AC outlet or wall receptacle for power. They then take the supplied patch cable and connect it into their cable modem and or Wi-Fi router. So if they already have a Wi-Fi router, they can actually just plug it right in there and create their own guest Wi-Fi system instantly. There's no setup, no configuration necessary. Okay. The setup, when you go and sell a solution, you're getting for us the customer's or merchant's logo, and you're also getting a little bit of information whether or not they want to do Facebook, whether or not they want to have email or phone number. If you don't tell us, by the way, they'll get all three. Doesn't really matter. Okay. But we're going to design, as you can see to the right here, you should be able to see an example as to um, it, what it would look like as far as a splash page or a login page. So hopefully that'll help you, okay? And that'll allow a person to log on using Facebook, email, or phone. They simply tap the button, select I agree to the terms and conditions, which is pretty simple. Yes, I'm going to receive automated marketing, and yes, you're responsible for whatever you view online, okay? So this is what it looks like. I'm sure you've seen it, right? You go and you grab your phone and you're in the retailer and you go ahead and do your thing and your phone says, hey, there's a Wi-Fi network here. You select which one you want. Typically the one that has the strongest signal is at the very top, typically. And you just tap it. And all of a sudden when you tap it, you're brought to that login screen that I just showed you, okay? Then also that merchant's customer is capable to go ahead and log in. These are two examples of different welcome screens that we've done. There's a large version and a small version. These are what's called native screen, which are responsive to either a mobile device, big, small, or very small. So you have different phones out there that are 4.5 inches, 6 inches, 6.5. The software will automatically render based on the screen size. You can also look to the right of this. You'll see there's bigger windows and therefore tablets, right? So you'll see here's a couple examples of graphics that we've done for our customers that are called the splash pages, and it allows them to sign in again with a mobile number, email address, or Facebook content. Okay, when they log in, they're collecting data, and this is a screenshot of what the system itself looks like. Or sorry about that. Or you also have a real live system that I can show you. Okay, hopefully you all are seeing this. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Art and Jake's real quick. Art and Jake's is a great customer opportunity for you to take example with and think of, okay, what happens? They've been using the system for not even 3 months. And if you notice right here, it says total 988 visits. That's for the last 30 days. That's amazing. There is no system that can tell you how many customers have came in and out of your door other than this product line. Okay, so this is going to tell you the first time, how many people actually are accessing your system for the very first time this month out of that, 988. So 79% of them, very first time, have connected to the system. 14% of them are the second time, and only 7% of them are the third time. Now you start thinking, how is this useful for my business? Man, it's tremendously useful. Why? Because now you can tell that story that I gave you a little bit ago about how many people will return to a business after the first time. You can actually see, we know what we're talking about, can't you? The numbers don't lie. Okay. Then we see to the right here the average visits per day from Monday through Sunday. right? You can see it actually escalates. So you can tell over the weekend they have a really good business, through the week, not so much, right? Because their average sign up through the week is around 15 to 20 people. As soon as it gets to the weekend, it starts hitting the roof, right? It starts going up to 45, 60, 55 people per day, and then it comes right back down when Manic Monday comes around. So you can see how useful this is. If a customer is using the Facebook profile where they allow their end users to go ahead and log in through Facebook, that's where you get this gender information right here. So the people that are logging in through Facebook, which by the way, you can see is probably not the biggest way that they're logging in because you have a very small percent of them. But you can see that male and female are very, very close to who's coming to A&J's sports bar. And then the question mark of 85%, that's because it was just a mobile phone or an email and it can't grab gender through those things. But then when you look to the left, you can see that the mobile phone is the most prevalent way that people are opting into the system. So that tells you mobile marketing is key to a customer. Okay, I mean, you can just look here and see that. So what's it all look like, right? Well, behind the scenes, what the system itself is doing is it's grabbing information about the people who are visiting the location itself. In this particular merchant, they have 4 locations online, but only one of them is really doing collection of data. The other ones are would-be nices, and they're basically just storing that information. But this is what their splash page looks like. You can see it says enter your mobile number to join AJ's fan club or login. They're using the marketing suite as well. That's where they get this piece from. We go and send a little bit of information here that says when you sign in, you're going to get approximately 4 messages per month from this user. Okay, but this is the real nuts and bolts. The access log is the people logging in. Here's an example of what a Facebook information looks like. So it says it was a check-in type of Facebook. This person's name is Donovan Johnson. He is a male. Here's his email address. And if you want, you can even gain even more information. So from Facebook, we could even see what his birthday is and his age range. Okay, so we can, see a lot more information. Okay, so that's what Facebook is so valuable for to a merchant when using our platform is what are we acquiring from Facebook to provide good marketing content. At the bottom of this screen, you'll see that it tells you how many rows there are per page. So you can really get the sense for, or per system, I should say, you can get a sense for how many people are stored in the database, and then you can do a full download from here. So let's say that you're using an external email marketing solution like a Constant Contact, or you're using MailChimp, Aweber, or maybe your own, right? Who knows? You can actually, download this data, make it useful for you. Okay. There's a couple other things that you could do with the system, and that is behavioral settings. So what we're going to talk about a little bit today is, and also give you an idea as to other things that it looks like. Here's another splash page, right? This one just happens to be for, one of our customers that does texting for dealerships. So that's why we have this really cool looking splash screen that pops up, and it tells you right there, enjoy free Wi-Fi, just log in, and that's what it's going to look like. Okay. Um, Here's what a splash screen looks like. It'll load up here real quickly. You can see they're acquiring email and phone number. They simply select the terms of agreement and which one they want to access with. If it's phone number, it goes to a phone screen. If it's an email, it's going to ask for your email address. Okay. And yes, these little cute uh, graphic sliders and all, they're prevalent on the smartphone, so it looks like it's native to their phone as an application. Okay. And then finally, when all that happens, what we want to talk about now is how do you sell it? So far you should have a couple of different ideas. Actually, let me roll back. I want to show you some triggers first, and then we'll talk about selling real quickly. Okay. So it seems like we're on time real quickly here. We still have about 10 minutes remaining left to our phone call, and then we're going to take some Q&A. But the triggers, let's talk about triggers. This particular one is a dummy system. Okay, and what I want to do is show you what triggers look like. So the first things first is I want to go ahead and show you here. This is Art and Jake's. They do have a trigger set up, and this particular trigger does amazing things. So what it does is it talks directly to the marketing suite application, and it's literally saying every time this, or the very first time rather, that the device connects into the system, do what? And it's sending an action to the marketing suite, and it starts telling it to go and perform a webhook, which you don't need to know all this jargon, but a webhook is basically calling an exterior application, which is the marketing suite, and it's saying to them for the very first time, go ahead and put this customer information here and launch a marketing suite. Okay, that'll do the automation, that'll do 3 touch points per month. You know, if you've been selling marketing suite, what it's going to be doing here. But when we look at a trigger, I want to explain to you what triggers do. First off, these 2 boxes coming soon, amazing stuff is coming right around the corner that you'll be able to, that existing merchants will have an opportunity to upload or upgrade to, and that's going to be when a device comes near. We do have a sensor that literally plugs in across the room, and it'll sense when a Wi-Fi, or excuse me, from a mobile device comes into that location. It'll sense if you actually connected before and automate marketing right then, right there. If you leave, it'll know that and automate marketing right then, right there. So those are some really neat things coming along. But for now, when the device connects, this is how it pretty much works. When you're creating a trigger, you don't have to do this. These are things that we do, but I do want you to understand what it is. So there's a couple of things that can happen here. So every time the device connects, you can have the system do something. The first time that it connects, you can have the system do something. After so many times of connection, so let's say after 3 times you wanted to do something else. In other words, for the first 3 times, do nothing. After the 3rd time, do this, and then X times, X number of times. So every 10 times, do that. Okay. So you have the ability to tell the system what and when and how, at what cadence or frequency you would like to communicate with your buyers. Now you can have the system do this all the time forever, or just tell it how many times. So you can have it done 1 time per day, per week, or per month. Okay. So if you said, um, that the first time I connect, now you're going to get into this stuff about what system do you want to use. And you can see we've already integrated to Aweber, to MailChimp, to Constant Contact. That way, if the merchant is already using these things, they don't have to choose to do something else. They simply select these things. It'll prompt them to go ahead and log into their account 1 time. Once they do that, it stores it in the cloud and connects for them. You can also send a delayed email right from the system itself without having to have an external email application using ours. That's built right in. And then you can also push an SMS message. Now let's talk about this for a second. As far as a delayed email goes, you can send as many as you want. It doesn't really matter. If you have 50,000 people that are coming to your restaurant that access the Wi-Fi router, keep this in mind, listen to what we're saying. 50,000 people accessing the Wi-Fi router may receive an email from you if they provide an email address. You cannot then push an email. That's not how the system works. This system is reacting to when people come to the location, and it pushes an email message. Okay. Same thing with the text message. If they supply them a mobile number, the system can automatically launch a mobile marketing message for you that integrates to the marketing suite, that integrates to an external SMS provider, but still you'll be able to push that. But this is not something where you could say, oh my gosh, let me log into the FanConnect Wi-Fi solution and push an offer for 3 p.m. Saturday. That will not happen because that's not what this does. Okay. The same thing with an email. That's not how this works. Okay. So this means if I have 100 people that are checking in, whether it be the first time, every time, so many times, or after a number of times, to send a particular email or text message, including a picture text message. Okay, so these are the ways that the triggers themselves work. Connecting to your MailChimp, Aweber, or Constant Contact provider is really simple. You simply just select the little radio button. As soon as you go to the next screen, it asks for your username and password for that service. It links it, and what it does is it takes the email addresses and moves it to that location. Then you, as the owner of that account, are going to have to create your own email messaging that you want to use. Okay? And so that's pretty much it. Now, what I want to do is I want to talk to you a little bit about marketing, right? So sales and marketing. So you got a really good eagle eye view as to what does this do, how does it work, um, triggers, all that good stuff. So let's review for a second. Okay, what's in the box? I go and sell Wi-Fi Connect. What's in the box? It comes with a router. It comes with the power supply so that you can connect it to the electric. It comes with the network cable so that you can connect the Wi-Fi Connect router into an existing cable modem or Wi-Fi router itself. It comes with a few table tents for point of purchase displays that you can tell people, hey, we have Wi-Fi here. And it also has the option of employee free buttons. Okay, for a limited time, we are including those with our Wi-Fi routers so that when a customer gets it, they'll see like 2 or 3 of them in the box. If they want to order more, they can. And how do they order more? They simply contact you or Fan Connect, and they can order more. And we'll get into those in a few moments. So what's it cost? It's $99 for the setup. Okay, $99 per month for the system access. Okay, setup, yes, includes that Wi-Fi modem itself or Wi-Fi router itself. Okay, um, here's a couple qualifiers that you're going to want to ask people when you're talking about selling. Do you offer free Wi-Fi or do you have an internet connection at your location? That's pretty obvious, and that's something you definitely want to ask. And then you can ask questions like, do you have a waiting room? Is most of your business dine-in? You want to know these things so that you know for a fact whether or not Wi-Fi is going to be important to their business. Okay? Do they have a customer list? Are you experiencing good difficulty in building a customer list? If they're doing email marketing, you want to ask them questions like, how do you create that email list? Would you like to see a way to go and grow your email list up to 5 times faster than what you're doing now without all these error corrections and legibility issues and different systems all in one? And do you do couponing? Right? These are great questions to qualify the end user as to what they're doing in their business and will and how it work for them. Here's a couple benefits. This sheet, by the way, you should already have. If you don't have it, it will certainly be followed up with. But this is how you build a customer list on the fly. That's the benefit of it. Literally on the fly. They don't need their servers or waiters and waitresses to do anything. Management doesn't have to do anything. Nobody does anything. This is all automated. This is all electronic. The increase of repeat business. Obviously, if people are, we said a moment ago that the benefit of free Wi-Fi is that people tend to stay longer. Well, that does increase repeat business. But when they leave and you have this automation of marketing and it's touching them after the fact, man, that's fantastic. That brings them back in the door. The ability to save time and money in automating your marketing, that is key. That's going to save a lot of time, a lot of money, and we all know that time is money, and money is not something a lot of business owners want to burn. Most importantly, there's a dashboard. In today's world, merchants expect that there's a dashboard. They expect that there's a visibility or a way that it's visible as to the performance of a system they have. So that's why we provide one. The customer list, 100% downloadable. Use it with whatever you want. Okay. Easy to use dashboard, a secure wireless function. This is really important. There's no passwords. There's 0 passwords, but the system itself is encrypted and protected from the outside world. Nothing gets in the router, but everything leaves the router. Okay. No passwords for guests, as we just talked about. It's automated email and text messaging for the patrons. It works with 3 of the biggest email provisioners, Constant Contact, MailChimp, and Aweber. That way they can literally sign in and go. And then lastly, again, is it has a patron list that's 100% exportable. Okay, so I've given you kind of like the lowdown of the Wi-Fi Connect solution. You got a really good understanding as to why businesses use Wi-Fi today, what's in it for them, and some benefits. You got to see the system itself in action, and you got a background as to what we're doing with it. Okay, and then more importantly, you got some sales information and marketing. So we're going to stop our recording now, and then we're going to go ahead and take your questions, your Q&A, so that you can learn